What's up, everybody? It's Chris. It's Team DY Fishing. I'm out here at the pond behind the house, out here with my latest DIY project that I did. And let me go ahead and set these down, and I'll grab one and I'll talk about it before I launch them all. So, saw that various places sell artificial grass to put into your pond. So I came up with this, which, as you can, it's hard to see, hard to get it all in frame, but all it basically is banding from pallets. You know, when they ship pallets of product or stacks of lumber, bunks of lumber, this is the banding that bands the product to the pallets or bands that lumber. So, and then for weight, I bought paper cups and some Quikrete. Used the paper cup to hold the Quikrete, mixed the Quikrete, stuck the ends of the banding down into the Quikrete. I took them off already because if I would have brought them out here to the pond's edge, they would have blown into the pond. I used separate cups that I punched a hole in the bottom and put down over the top, and that cup held all of the banding down here in an upright position while the concrete firmed up. Also, it makes it to where you can get them into your car easier to bring them out. So I'm gonna throw these into the pond 10 12 feet out there, which is only 2 to 4 feet of water. And these leaves, if you will, I made 4 of them. These leaves, if you will kind of spread out and open up. The Quikrete will be plenty of weight to sink this to the bottom. And you know, see, it's 3 or 4 different shades of green. I cut them to random lengths. One of them, the first one I made, I did 34 inches. And the other 3 I made in the same night, those are 40 plus inches, with some shorter and some longer. So again, for about $7, I made 4 that, and I checked, this plastic is non-toxic. It biodegrades over 30 years. And of course, Quikrete cement. So can't really be anything here that's gonna be too harmful or harmful at all to the pond. And saved myself quite a bit of money because, like I said, online, a package of 3 of these is $100 plus, $109. So just, again, some DIY structure. Nice weight there on the bottom, some cut banding. And so I'm gonna go ahead and deploy these, and we will have some more structure out here for the fish. So, all right. The honey hole shrub is right out there, so I'm gonna try to land this somewhere right out there. So 1, 2, 3. So as you see there, plenty of weight to take that down. I don't know how many feet of water that's in, but wherever that winds up depth-wise, that's gonna be additional structure for the fish to use. I am gonna throw, so it went honey hole shrub, open DIY, root wad, tight, dense DIY, and the spawning pad I made. You can actually see the spawning pad because it's right below the water surface. So actually, let me go over here. Let me put one of these just off that spawning pad. So you guys probably can't see it, or maybe you can if you've got good eyes, but that spawning pad is right out there. So let me put this just to the right, or I'm gonna go to the left because I don't have anything to the left or to my property line. So I'm gonna go right out there. All right, so that one went under. And regardless of whether or not these stand up, lay down, you know, in wild cover, falls down, stands up, does everything. So I'm not worried about oh my gosh, did this land straight up and down? Because anything that I'm putting in here is going to be cover for fish. So, all right, I see the dense DIY right there. So I'm going to put this one just to the right of that and maybe out a little bit. All right. So the tight root wad, spawning pad, new structure. I'm gonna come back over here. I'm gonna throw this one straight out from the rocks here. I'm right on my property line. I told myself I'm not gonna do any structure on anybody else's frontage on the pond. You know, obviously out of respect for their property. Plus, I want the fish to hold up on my property, if you will, not anybody else's. So I'm just gonna throw this one. So these fish, they're spawning in this area of rocks densely. The honey hole shrub is right out there. So I'm gonna throw this just like straight out here. All right. So there we go. Won't be able to see these until we get some clear weather for several days and all the silt can settle out. The pond is about five inches above where I've seen it. We have had rain, and we are due for more rain over the next several days. So it's probably going to be a while before the pond is going to come down and clear up to where we'll be able to see any of these, if we're going to be able to see them at all. But they're in the pond. Hopefully they've landed at least in somewhat of a way that the fish will see them and utilize them. And again, the goal of this is to get the bluegill to that 3 to 5 inch size, which is where they're the most nutritious, I guess, if you want to, let's just use that word, where they're the most bang for the buck for a big bass to eat them, as far as the energy it takes for the big bass to catch them versus the size of the meal. And also at that 3 to 5 inch range, that typically means they're mature enough that they enter the spawning class as well. So they serve two purposes when they hit that 3 to 5 inch range. They're a good meal for a bass, and they're spawn ready. So everything I've put in here is with an eye towards getting these bluegill out of the fry stage and to that size range where they're going to give me the most bang for the buck. So that'll do it for now. It's too murky, too windy, too cloudy to do a walk around and look at anything else. I will say that there are a lot of frogs. The tadpole group has transformed into frogs, so I've got a lot of frogs. So that will certainly help feed the bass. I've seen some crayfish, however you like to pronounce it, crawdads in here. So those will obviously help feed the bass. There's snails in here, so I'm going to get some red ear, which like to feed on snails to help control that population. Plus, that's another brood fish that the bass can feed on. So everything I'm doing is with an eye towards introducing bass to this pond, probably next spring. So till next time, it's Chris. It's Team DY Fishing. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Until next time though, it's Chris, it's Team DY Fishing. Have a good afternoon.